And we're going down the TwoSun trail again. They keep coming out with really great models, interesting ones at least, with some great designers. This is Mazwan Mokhtar that did this. This is the 243-CF for carbon fiber, and there's a whole lot of carbon fiber on this knife. But, you know, look at the billboarding on the blade. Yeah, none, okay? But Mazwan's been doing a lot of this kind of situation, of course, in many of his knives, including like the Kingfisher and others, where there is no billboarding on the blade. Everything's on the inside, and we'll take a look at that when we disassemble this. And get ready for your knife to come kiss you goodnight, because that's going to go past and come down and get ya. So yeah, be careful when you drop that blade, because the flipper tab is so muted that when it hits you right there, it's not past the detent. So you got to get it past the detent, which means the flipper tab is past your thumb. So just kind of, I tilt the knife downwards, because then it's not going to roll around and come back up and get you. If you do it like that or like this, then it might. So be careful how you handle it when you do that. And it's all right. Front flipper as well. Mazwan's been doing a bunch of that with a lot of the different models that he's been making. Really cool. 14C28N Sandvik steel. We've tested it. It's real 14C28N. And it actually seems to cut pretty well and hold an edge pretty well, as you know, in addition, which has been cut tested. I think Outpost 76 did one on one of the Wong knives, but it was Wong Den Xin as a designer on one of his knives, maybe the TS124 or something, but it had Sandvik steel, and it outperformed a lot of the D2 he'd had before. So good knife, good steel, good and corrosion resistant, a true stainless, titanium pocket clip, fairly deep carry for that. Kind of that little ball looking thing, but it's not actually a ball bearing in there. There's your backspacer. Titanium, real long backspacer, comes all the way back here. So continuous practically. And then you got jimping on the top of the blade. And the blade itself looks interesting, doesn't it? And it's sharp. And most TwoSun knives, yeah, they are sharp, aren't they? Whew, that just went through there, didn't it? It's like that. But yeah, got a real belly on this blade. And piercing would be good as well. Now, as much as I like the design of this knife, because I do like the design of this knife, part of the reason is because the scale part, the handle part, reminds me a little bit of the Laconico Keen by Ray Laconico, because of this, the fuller that runs down through there. You see how that is, front and back, and it's simple. This is just a really simple design. Not a lot of flourishes, not a lot of hubbub there. And nice front choil, so you can sneak up on here. I'd say the only bitch I have with this knife is that it's thick. It's a thick dog. And let me get the calipers out on it. So it's 16.62. Okay? So that's pretty fat. You know, a lot of knives are 0.46, that kind of thing. And here's my mini Bull Mastiff, and you can see the difference in how thick. So this is gonna be a bit of a pocket brick because of that. Put it on the scales. Let's see how that translates. 154 grams. Let's roll it around to ounces. 5.6. That's not terrible, but you know, you got carbon fiber in here. Now you got titanium liners. So how do they take care of that? Because, you know, titanium is softer and it comes up and it can create lock stick when it comes up against a hard steel surface. To remedy that, you can see the screws right down through there because they have a hardened steel insert in this lock bar. So it isn't the titanium coming into contact, it's actually hardened steel. Wow. And what did I pay for this? Like about 60 bucks. I think that was a hell of a deal. Now look at the flipper tab, very muted, forward, pretty intuitive, bam, okay? But then if you want to go front flipper, okay, and this thing is tall enough, you can actually get your hands on it because you got to have kind of a different grip when you're going to use your thumb to kick it open. And then this jimping is aggressive enough to where it makes it pretty easy to operate. Not bad, huh? Yeah, could be worse. Could be way worse. This is a pretty nice knife. I like it. The ergos are good because this is very neutral here. A little bit of a front choil here for the first finger. Otherwise, very neutral. Reverse grip, yes, that's fine as well. That's comfortable. Pocket clip, like I said, right hand tip up. I don't see that that's going to be reversible. You can see that they've probably machined a little area in here for this to sit down on, but when we take it apart, we'll know better. But I don't think you can flip it over here at all. Okay, so it's right hand tip up only. Unfortunately for you lefties. And right there it says the 14C28N on the flipper tab. But that's muted. I mean, I think the only thing, the design flows, of course, this is intentional. So had that not been there, I think the design would have been more attractive. And I could have lived without the front flipper and just had this muted top here, and I would have been fine. So I'm not a huge fan of front flippers. It's not like that really tips me over to wanting to get the knife. Actually, if anything, I buy it in spite of the front flipper option. And that's probably because I'm just an old, grumpy, guy. So, old man, not cool with the cool young crowd that loves the front flippers. But yeah, a bit gimmicky and also not, I don't see how there's a tactical advantage to that. This, I've already got a grip on the knife. This, I don't. I don't have anything holding onto this side. So that's not good. And I've known knives to fly out of guys' hands because they did that and they didn't have a good grip because it's like this. So there you go. But it's centered. No blade plate, no lock rock. There's your lockup. 25 to 30% right there. Is it easy to disengage? Yes, it is. And you got this little beveled part in here. It's easy to disengage. The blade drops really wonderfully. Ceramic bearings. Very nice. And it's a full-size knife. Look at it with the Vexor. Vexor's huge. It's definitely smaller than my Civivi Vexor. And I seem to have a lot of Civivis on here. My Praxis is also close, but not quite. Throw the tape. 3.5. And just over 8 inches. Just barely over 8 inches, 20.5 centimeters. So technically not as long as a PM2 and, barely even 3.5 if you want to say that. More like, they were saying 85 centimeters, millimeters, I'm going to say 87 millimeters. So not quite 3.5 inch blade. 3.4, 3.45, and just 8.1 overall. Okay. if you want to be real technical about it. So not, you know, and at 5.5, 5.6 ounces, it's pretty good weight for a knife that's not as, PM2 is 3.8 ounces. So this is not 4 ounces. This is not 4.5. This is not 5. So it keeps climbing, and you got a lot of titanium in here with this backspacer, and you got a lot of titanium. I mean, you got a lot of blade here. Its height and thickness. Never did really look at that, did we? Ooh, getting close to 4 millimeters, but 3.75 for sure. At, yeah, 0.147, 0.146. So, okay, so you got some thick blade stock, and it's a tall blade. This is tall too, and so that amplified by the fact that you got these very thick liners in here, okay? And doesn't look like they're skeletonized. So you got weight, even though you got titanium as opposed to steel, and you got carbon fiber as opposed to God only knows what could be a little heavier. Maybe G10 would be heavier as well. So, okay. There's my balance point, and it's really easy to balance on your finger because it's so damn wide. Whew, baby, that's wide. Like I said before, I mean, my one bitch with this is that it is pretty thick. This thing could be down to like 0.5 overall width, and that would really make it a lot lighter, and that would make it less of a pocket brick here. Although then where are you taking it out of? Hopefully just the scales. Maybe you could take a tiny fraction out of these liners, but you still want a lot of integrity there with that lockup. So, but you could have taken some out with the scales, and you could have taken some out with the liners. And then that backspacer didn't have to be as long. You're going to save some weight there. Could be a thinner backspacer as well. So that kind of thing. You could have made the backspacer carbon fiber to match the scales. That also would have reduced the weight. I've shown this to you about 3 times now, but never remarked on the lanyard that's incorporated in here. And that's nice. I mean, it's nice because it's real stealth. But the overall design, that's nice. Right there, that's a good look, I think. Well, I think we only need one size of Torx to take this apart. And by God, we're going to do it. And that was nothing. That was easy. Okay. Knock that out. And so we got the surround, the pivot surround, and then, of course, the pivot screw in here. Woo, popped out finally. Ooh, that was on there, wasn't it? Okay, I'll leave you alone. You guys are in a love embrace. Okay, and here we go. That's like machined out. That's nicely done. Let's see how difficult this is. And it's not very. It's coming out the other side. Congratulations. Get out of there. And next. And you're out too. Any difference in the sizes? You know, it doesn't look like it. Just eyeballing it there. That looks pretty much the same. Where are we going through with this? Pocket clip. I think we just need to take this one too, because and that looks like the same size too. And it's starting to pop apart. Okay, here we go. There's the outer scale. Yeah, that's carbon fiber all the way. There's your cutout for your lock bar, blah, blah, blah. And an extra little cutout for those 2 screws that hold the hardened steel insert into the titanium lock bar. And I got screws wanting to fall out the backside too. If it happens, it happens. And there it goes. Oh, these are the ones that come through from the other side. Okay, not a problem. Titanium liners, hardened steel insert, ceramic detent ball. Okay, so, I mean, just to do that on a knife that you may end up paying. And you know, when you buy them on eBay, and that's the way I get them, I bid for them too. Hell, you might have paid $85 or $90 for this knife, or you may have stole it for $58 or something like that, you know? So, just depends. And I'm not sure, I don't know, no. See, this wasn't mine. This still had 3 days and 9 hours to go. Hell, it probably hit 100. But there's your specs, just in case. There's your travel for your stop. And yeah, you squared off here, so you know you got a squared off pivot. And there's your steel washer. And of course, the other side is nice area for the bearings to do their thing. And they're ceramic bearings right there. Pretty damn clean, and that's pretty clean. And then you got the ever famous detent ramp that they build. So what's that all about? Isn't that nice? So that's beautiful. Love it. Of course, internal stop. And then there's your back spacer, which is titanium as well. Yeah, there's nothing there. There's my magnet. Nothing. Up. Steel lock bar, nothing there. That's all titanium. So, yeah. Okay, we got all our pieces and parts back together. I just want to take it apart, kind of give you guys a view of what it looks like. There you go. TwoSun, Mazwan Mokhtar logo. So all that's done on the inside. They just got rid of it on the blade. Put it right in here. How Rico Suave is that? Pretty damn Rico Suave. Kick that baby in. And that looks all good and proper. I guess if we wanted to, we could see if it takes any of that. Kick this baby on. Throw this. Drop there. Put our washer, of course, this side down. There's our squared off. And there's our squared off. So we got to match those two together, which we will right there. Kick this little puppy on. Put this back. Just give it a light push on there and then hold these in the back because they're going to fall out. I'm kind of holding that one in place while I'm, yeah, that's tightening right up. Good, good, good. That. Okay. And then we got the pocket clip. Pull this thing back through. Okay, good, good, good. Fine. Good. Now, is it centered? Yeah. Is it got play? I don't know. No, no play. I didn't take it too hard down, but there's no play. It's centered, and the action's great. So the TwoSun TS243-CF Humpback, if I didn't say Humpback before, I apologize for that, but it's the Humpback. And it was kind of a joke because he goes, there's really no hump, so I don't know why I named it the Humpback, but it is the Humpback. And there it is. I always do my boxes like this so I can remember. And I didn't write Humpback on here either, but it is. So according to the designer, pretty slick, nice looking carbon fiber, titanium liners, good quality materials, and the price, well, that's up to you, my friend. You know, that's the way it goes on there. But you can always go to White Mountain Knives and see if they have it, because they are carrying TwoSun knives. Also, TwoSun has an AliExpress store. All that will be down in the description section underneath the video, as well as the names of the two main TwoSun sellers online, and both of them are connected to the ownership of TwoSun, so you're in good shape, getting the real deal and all that. I'm gonna let you go. Ooh, baby, good looking. Things are going great with TwoSun. Looking forward to future models coming out, and they're I mean, it's just, they're incredible. I think they're a great value. I have a hell of a lot of fun with these knives. I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much. And you know what we do around here. We love them knives, so you guys stay sharp.